Yo, what's good with y'all, man? So, today we are going to be discussing why girls like damaged guys, why they like damaged goods, why they like Pookie and Ray Ray, right? So, this video popped up in my feed earlier today via one of my favorite content creators, Mr. Antoine Bandel. And just a little bit about him. He makes content revolving around all the nerdy, geeky stuff that I love, like Avatar, Percy Jackson, Star Wars. I originally found him. He used to do these crazy versus battles where he would do like Luke versus Anakin or Aang versus Korra, stuff like that. So yeah, he has a great channel. I would highly recommend that you go check him out. But basically, I wanted to provide some social commentary on this video because I feel like it is very prevalent and relevant for my target audience. You guys know that this channel is geared towards specifically so-called younger black men. And I know that a lot of us have or are currently dealing with female drama, girl troubles. And I've noticed that a lot of men, I feel like one of the reasons why the manosphere and red pill content has become so pervasive and successful over the past few years is because men have been lied to and they don't really understand why women do the things that they do or why they gravitate towards the things that they gravitate towards. So, and I'm not a red pill type of person. Like I definitely have watched some red pill content. I agree with a lot of what they say, but there's definitely an aura of like anger and like hatred within a lot of those people. You can tell like a lot of them, they got their heart broke and now they turn into a monster, right? And I don't think that that's necessarily the best way to go about things. I feel like it is important to understand women and why they do the things that they do and to move accordingly. But you shouldn't, hate women or be mad at women for what they do. Women have been the same way since the beginning of time. And I think this video does a great job of articulating that point. So we're going to get into it, man. It's only 2 minutes long. So, yeah, let's get started.
So when it comes to Katara and her potential love interest, I think she has a type. Hello everyone, welcome to the Geek Talk. Today, let's discuss Katara and her love interest. So I think I got this idea from a comment someone put on my compilation of Zutara, or maybe it was a Katang. I can't remember which one it was. But they brought up the notion that, hey, it seems like Katara connects with people and generally likes people who have damage and have, kind of dark backstories. And I kind of thought about it now.
Yo, you hear what he said? He said that Katara connects to people who have trauma and who have a damaged backstory. And like I said, man, girls have been the same for generations, man. They've always liked that type of stuff. And Avatar is an older show. Avatar came out in like 2005 and they were putting these themes in plain sight even back then. So I feel like a lot of people are, kind of blaming social media and for the current behavior of girls and why they gravitate towards, certain toxic things. But that's not the case, bro. Girls have always been like that. Girls have always been attracted to fire, basically.
I was like, you know what? I think that's kind of right. Because if we look at Haru, who was the Earthbender we saw in book 1, they connected by talking about their past and how the Fire Nation, kind of tormented them and all that. And then later on, we see Jet and we see her connect with him based on, again, the Fire Nation hurting him and hurting his family and kind of, getting on the same playing field because of that reason. And then later, of course, we get Zuko, the first, and we know in particular with Zuko, she was not about Zuko at all. So for the whole first book, the whole book 2 almost, until they were in the catacombs. And what does Zuko talk about? He talks about how the Fire Nation took away his mother, and guess who starts taking an interest? Katara. Now I know some of you out there are like, that wasn't her being interested, that was just her being compassionate. And I disagree. I am totally...
I disagree as well. You seen her face? Y'all see her face? He said that he was like, oh, my mom died. She was like, oh, really? Okay. I can fix that. I can fix him.
a Zutara person, I totally saw something there, and I know that there was little bits. There was little bits there. I mean, that's the reason to make a joke of it in the Ember Islands player episode, because there was something there. But the hugest thing, of course, the one who has the most damage and is the person that she ended up with was Aang, and it doesn't get much better, or I guess worse, than having your entire civilization and entire culture decimated and, you know, being committed to genocide. Now, of course, that's really dark. I'm, of course, making a joke of it. I'm being light about it, but it does seem like Katara has a track record of being into these kinds of dudes who have these damaged past, and it seems like the winner was the one who had the biggest of the darkest past. Of course, this is just really silly. Of course, Katara did not choose Aang just because of the genocide, but I thought it was kind of funny that we've seen consistently that she's been with the same type of guy, or has had interest in the same type of guy throughout the show. And I thought that was kind of funny. Let me know, though, if you guys think the same thing in the comments below. Do you think that Katara has a type, or do you think that, nah, like, I think that's silly. That's just silly.
I do not think that you are silly, Mr. Antoine. I think that she definitely does have a type. I think that she has the same type as most girls in, you know, modern society and really all throughout time. So let's get into it, man. So why do women like damaged guys? I feel like it's for a couple of reasons. So first of all, I feel like it gives them a chance to play out their maternal fantasies. It brings out, you know, the mother nature within them, the nurturing aspect that all women carry with them. You know, they see, you know, someone crying, they want to make it better. They want to give them a Band-Aid, right? So damaged guys a lot of times are emotional. They're emotionally unstable. And that attracts girls because it allows them to, like I said, play out that maternal aspect of their nature. And then secondly, and this one isn't necessarily even a bad reason. So girls, whether they want to admit it or not, they look up to guys. That's why girls oftentimes seek after, you know, taller, bigger, stronger dudes. Like, they want someone to lead them. They want someone to teach them. They want someone to guide them. So a lot of girls themselves have extremely damaged, traumatic past. And when they see a guy who also has a traumatic past, but has ascended beyond that and turned it into a source of strength, they look up to that. They see essentially what they aspire to be, what they want to be like, right? And even back to the garden, right? Women have always wanted to be like God, right? And what's the closest thing to God in this physical existence? It's the man. It was Adam. Adam was literally a direct creation, a direct reflection of God, and Eve was a reflection of Adam. But even so, like, women have always been attracted to, I guess they've always been attracted to masculine energy, and overcoming and gathering strength from bad situations is one of the most masculine things that you can do. So like I said, another reason is because they see, I guess, what they want to be. And they know that, you know, a lot of times they aren't as mentally or physically strong as, you know, the guy that they're interested in, but they see that he has turned his trauma and his bad experiences into strength. And they admire that, they like that, and they want to be like that. And like I said, that's not necessarily even a bad thing. But I realized this recently, not that recently. So I've probably been doing self-improvement for around a year now. You know, I've been going to the gym, slowly changing my diet, getting rid of my bad habits, you know, starting my writing, chasing my dreams, essentially, right? And I haven't had a girl this entire time. You know, I had a girlfriend about a year ago, but that's a long story. But anyway, I noticed that now that I'm doing all of these good things, these positive things, that I don't get nearly as much female attention as I used to get when I was stuck in my ways, right? When I was in my Riley aspect as opposed to my Huey aspect. And like, I'm not like, I feel like a lot of these guys talk from like little experience or like just things that they've heard. Like, I personally experienced, like, I went through, you know, my Playboy phase when I was in college, when I was at Morehouse, bro. Like, I was out here. Like I was out here, bro. I've had tons of girls. I've had tons of experiences with girls. And it's just I noticed like back when I was doing all, I was doing drugs and posting on Instagram every other week and posting selfies and, like going off on people on my story and getting in drama and stuff. That's when I got the most female attention. I'm getting girls DMing me, coming up to me in public, asking for my number. I'm I'm not cheating because like I wasn't dating them, but I mean like, like I'm doing stuff with other girls and like they still want to be around me and stuff like that. So, but now that I'm like, I guess trying to be positive, I don't get nearly as much attention as I used to get. And it's weird. It's weird. You would think it would be the opposite. But anyway, that's something I noticed. And I noticed that at that point in time where I was doing all of these things, I was damaged. Like I was emotionally damaged and I was trying to cover it up by, doing all these, by, creating a character, right? By creating this character on Instagram through doing things that I knew weren't necessarily good for me, by running around pumping and dumping girls and doing all this not righteous stuff, right? So I literally seen this theme played out in my own life. I can't attest to what you guys have been through, but I know for a fact that like when I was damaged, when I was in the world, when I was completely in my flesh, that's when I got the most girls. That's when girls wanted to be around me. They wanted to do all these crazy things to me, for me, buy me stuff, all types of stuff. But now that I'm, grinding and doing what I need to do, it's kind of like, I don't know if they're like scared off or, what it is. But I definitely have seen this theme play out in real life. So I would recommend to you guys that whether you have a traumatic past or you have a great and peachy past, just be strong, brothers. Don't let your trauma define you. There are plenty of girls who, even though they might still be drawn to like that toxicity per se, they don't like, that's not what they're mainly interested in, right? So you can definitely find someone where you don't have to be, that that Ray Ray, that Pookie archetype. But yeah, I don't want this video to be too long. It was only 2 minutes and I've already been talking for a while. But basically, that is why girls like damaged guys. They want a project. They want something to fix. And honestly, it also provides, this is the last thing I'll say, it provides them with perceived control. When a guy is, like I said, damaged, a lot of times he'll be emotionally damaged. He'll be emotionally unstable. And women, they operate because they can't physically dominate us. They dominate us mentally and spiritually. So if you have a weak spirit, if you have a damaged mental, a damaged spirit, then that makes it easier for them to manipulate you, to control you, to mold you, to fix you, per se, as they would say, right? It's really them trying to impart their own psyche and what they think and how they think that you should move onto you. So just think about that, man. But yes, girls definitely like damaged guys. Katara has a type, so watch out for that, man. But yeah, that's why girls like damaged dudes and they're attracted to Pookie and Ray Ray. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Bye, Chance.